What is going on, guys, and welcome to another tutorial. Now this is our third tutorial class for flyer design, so make sure you pay close attention to these and put it into practice. All right, if you're new to the channel, like I've said, click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you will get notified every time I post a video. Now let's hop into this tutorial. We're going to design this from scratch. So by doing so, I'm going to go to the default setting and we are going to start from there. All right, firstly we're going to choose a background. So I've already made a folder where I have all the resources placed, so I'm just going to go right there, resources 3, and there you go. You select the background, and to get the dimensions easily you click on 1:1. So I choose these dimensions. I can choose of any part of the background, so click on this and you have that. All right, so the next thing I did was to apply gradient. So this is something new we're going to learn for those who are not used to it, designing graphic design or flyer design. You have to learn how to apply gradient. So how do you apply gradient? So you tap on this middle button and click on shapes. When you click on shapes, click on this arrow. All right, we're just going to scroll down and we click on gradient. So when you tap on gradient, all right, you're not going to see these are just gradients I've used previously or in the past, so you're not going to see that. You're going to see gradients, different gradients. So to apply yours as new, you can click on the plus sign and this is what is known as gradient. So you realize you have a white and a dark color here, so this is called a gradient. A gradient is mixing two or more colors together. All right, so that's just a simple definition. And how can I get the gradient I want? Now you can easily touch this and touch this. Once you're touching it, it goes along with the color you're holding. Above here you can choose how you want the gradients to align or how you want it to be placed. So I'm going to go with the simplest gradient. So it's that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this below part. How I'm going to change the color is I'm going to click here and take this to the end. So if you're focusing up here, you're going to realize how the color is changing. So that's how you see the color change. And here we have the color code. So this is the color code of white. So we add take OK, and the next part, if I'm too fast, you can as well as well reverse the video so that you can get an understanding. And over at the top, you realize I'll have to make that one to be colorless. So to do that, I'll click here as well. Make sure you tap on this because it represents this. So when you tap on that, you click on this and you come over here below, you take this to the extreme end and it makes it colorless. So you have the color codes over here. All right, so we click on OK and you realize you have colorless and white. So I'm going to increase the intensity of the white side, and I think I'll try to reduce intensity up. So we have that. So once you're done, you click on the mark sign and you lock that gradient. The next thing I did was I had to look for a headline text, and the headline text says you too can own that dream. All right, I ended at that dream, so um, we'll put you in beginning with a capital letter and we're going to scale this. All right, now the font I use, if you scroll where you have fonts, the font I use is a default font, so all of you can get access to it. You don't need to have the font bundles I send. So we have to change the color to pure black. So increase the size and scale it to where you want. Now something I did realize there's a lot of spacing here, so something I did there was you want to reduce that line spacing, so you can do that by increasing or decreasing, whichever one, depending on how you want it to be placed. So that is that. Now I had to bring this to this end. Okay, now something I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag this at the back. There you go. All right, so you make it to align the way you want it. Now I'm going to decrease the line spacing once again. Now if you want to gently do this, you can just click on the negative sign and it brings it upwards. Now that's it. Now how I used another font for house. So if I type house, all right, the font I used was, all right, this is probably a different font. Let's see, I can't quite remember the font I used. Let's just see. Okay, Britney signature, I think that's the font. All right, that's it. And here's another um quick hack you guys should learn. If you realize you're designing, let's say I increase the size, now you realize the edge has been cut, all right, at this point. So how can you actually make everything to appear full? A lot of designers make mistakes by leaving their text just like this, and it makes it hard to read. So you want to actually make the text to come out fully. Now something you can apply is padding, all right. Like I said, as we're going through this lab, we're going to see how we use these things and how you can apply them. So you are padding to the left. When you padding to the left, it shifts the text to the left, and if you padding to the right, it opens up the text at the right side. So that's what you can do. If I click on undo, I'm going to show you another way in which you can do it without going to padding. And that way is that you go to edit where you have the text, and you just give a space in front and behind the text, so you realize everything shows fully. Now you can as well increase it if you don't have that much spacing. And I made the color of the text to be red. Um, let's see. Okay, that's it. There we go. Now the next thing I did was to bring in the house image. Or let's just go with this guy first. So like I said, this is in your resource file down in the description. So make sure you check it out to get the resources for this design and do something great with those resources. I want you to design something as beautiful as this. And the next resources was the house. So all these things, designing is just downloading things and placing them where you want them to look, making them look beautiful and unique. All right, you can as well alter the designs to make it suit you. All right, or suit what you have in mind. Now the next thing which you notice on the design was the text I wrote up here. So the background I used there was, I went to shapes. So if you click on shapes and you click on this, and you select this icon over here. So once you select that, you change the color to red, similar to house. And here's another thing, you can be able to rotate. So with designing, if you want to rotate an image or a shape, you can just click on this and you rotate it to the angle in which you want. So we're going to leave it at let me turn on my ruler to maybe centered. All right, or 135 degrees. That is good. So by the way, if I haven't told you guys, you can click on this to actually see the objects, the shapes, the things you've brought into your design. All right, now I'm going to reduce the size and make it fit a little bit. Now let's decrease the size. You don't want your design to be choked up. All right, it's going to make things very hard to assimilate. So we're going to bring house above a little bit. All right, that looks good. Now the text I used there was um, first of all, what the text was from. Was saying is from as low as, let's say, 400k. Let's make it CFR. Now it can be any kind of currency though. This is just a flyer to show you an example of how you can be creative. So we reduce the size, and don't worry about the way the text is coming in. We're going to use line spacing. All right, there you go. But we're not going to use that font before we heavily go into line spacing. So the font I used there was this font, and there you go. And I made the color to be white. So what I did was I increased that and the centered the text. So you can use alignment to center it. Remember I talked to you guys about alignment. So you can center it until it fits the shape. Now another thing I did was that I increased the weight, so I made it extremely bold. So but I don't really advise it. At times when you look at the design from a distance, you don't actually read what was written because it's too bold. So you can as well just reduce it and leave it at that spot. Now the next detail was the contact details. So we're going to go right into it. And like I said, for this you can actually use the color icons or anything. I'm going to show you guys how you can implement icons using a particular type of font. So if I write contact details, or maybe contact us rather, now I'm going to just use my number easily. I don't want to start writing the exact number that was on that flyer. Now the next address, you can just easily write all of these things together since as they form a particular block. Moriko Boya. Alright, so we reduce the size and bring it to this extreme end. Now just by using some other text you use, it helps you save time. If you're designing, it helps you to save some little amount of time where you can be able to do a lot of things. Now the font I used here was let's go with Proxima. Alright, so we go with Proxima, you go to line spacing and use it. You can use the reverse to take it to normal font spacing or line spacing rather, and you reduce the size. So there you go. I think we should take the house up a little bit and put it here. Alright, alignment very important. I forgot our ruler, so you can use that ruler to maybe put things in the right order. So there you go. Now the final thing was the icons. So let me show you guys how to actually do to input icons without necessarily going to download them on Google and stressing your life with certain things. All right, so let's first of all select a font. So the font I used there was Social Circles. So anytime you want to download something online and you just if you want to download a font online, just type Social Circles to get those icons. So with that, if you just type Social Circles, you're going to easily get those icons. All right, those icons, letters have been transformed to icons, so that's basically it. And if you want to get those icons, maybe Facebook, or you just write the first letter of Facebook, or maybe Twitter, you write the first letter of Twitter. Let's see. All right, so as you can see, we have those icons already. So you can just explore all the other icons and see the ones you can find, you can discover. So we're just going to work with this because it's just a tutorial, so I don't want to waste that much time. We're going to make it red, and we're going to write I think the website was, let's say, real estate real estate let's just say realestate.com. All right, so that is it for this tutorial, guys. If you enjoyed the video, all right, make sure you click that like button to like the video so that YouTube can recommend this video to a lot of people. And as well, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That is the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.